I don't really see why it's a problem that my mother, the grandmother of my child, has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother.
It is your responsibility.
I just feel like I don't really have to owe her anything.
Because she's your mom, you don't believe you need to pay her something.
That's what I thought.
I just don't get why it's such a big deal that my mom, your grandmother, has to step in and help out. I didn't get pregnant right after prom. And if I had, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. But that's not how things happened. You're my mom, and it's your responsibility. I don't feel like I owe her anything. She's your mom, not mine. Now, here comes the drama. What we've got here is a mom who seems to think it's optional to raise her own kids. She expects grandma to be a full-time babysitter while she's off doing her own thing. It's like she thinks just showing up is enough. If she could get a trophy for that, she probably would.
Judge, I have a really great daughter. However, we have a kind of a bad situation. My daughter seems to be so busy sometimes that I think she knows she's a mom, but she kind of has other responsibilities that she's kind of putting in the forefront of everything. And so it's the last 2 years, it's kind of gotten difficult for me. We have one baby girl. Her name is London, and she's almost 2. And my daughter is trying to go to college, work, be a mom, and, everything else that she wants to be. And so it's just gotten to a point where it's kind of ridiculous because I need some assistance financially. And unfortunately, I'm not getting it.
So I am a full-time student, college student.
Okay.
So I'm spending most of my times, at nights going to school. But on top of that, I also work for the university during the day.
What do you do?
I'm actually an intern, full-time intern for the psychology program. And so.
Is that a paid position?
Yes, it is.
How much are you paid?
Well, I just got a promotion.
That's good.
50,000.
Okay.
Yeah. I just feel like I work, all day. I go to school at nights. I don't come home.
Congratulations. We all work all day.
Yeah, I don't get home until like midnight. And I mean, I don't really see why it's a problem that my mother, the grandmother of my child, has to.
Well, because I'm not the one that got pregnant on prom night. You wouldn't be having this problem.
Okay.
That wasn't my decision.
Okay, but you're my mother, right? So you always said you wanted a grandchild, didn't you?
I had one child. Yes, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you would have got married first and had someone to share the responsibility with, not me.
I can't do it by myself, though.
You're not doing it by yourself.
I'm trying to use that money, right? So that way I can pay for my tuition for college.
Well, I can appreciate that, honey, but you know what? Your main responsibility is being a mom.
I agree with your mom. This is your child, and you said something very key while you were talking. You said grandmother.
Right.
You're her child. She raised you. It is not her responsibility to raise your child.
Right.
It is your responsibility.
I just feel like I don't really have to owe her anything.
You don't feel like you should pay your mother? If your daughter were going to daycare, you would be paying the daycare, right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel like they should be paid?
Yes.
They're taking care of your child, looking after your child, changing diapers, feedings. They should be paid, right?
Right.
Your mother is doing everything I just named, correct?
Yes.
So it logically follows that she should be paid too, right?
Yeah.
So what's your issue?
Well, she uses her money for the school loans, and I can appreciate that she doesn't want to have school debt.
Right.
But
Yeah,
now that she's making more money, she's going to have to give me a little bit of that. They live with me. The house is paid. We don't have that bill. So I know she wants to be responsible and not have any debt, but mommy doesn't need to be having no debt and worried about diapers and all that too. And she does try to help, but it's just not enough. And now that she's got a promotion, I feel like she needs to take a little bit more responsibility. I've done everything I can, sweetie.
You know that I'm a double major, right?
I know that, sweetheart. But like I said,
I can't afford
London
to
is
do that.
important too. So
I know she is. And that's why I leave her with you.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like I did a good job with raising
I
you.
leave her with you, and you leave your child with your mother and do not believe that your mother should receive some sort of financial assistance.
I feel like I give something back by being in school.
So, what do you think? Are you team grandma, or are you siding with the parent who seems a little out of touch? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your take on this. Now, let's get real for a minute. Here's the bigger issue. A mom is doing everything she can, but it's clear she's overwhelmed. She's a full-time college student and has a full-time internship in a psychology program. You've got to respect her hustle. She's doing it all. But that doesn't mean it's easy. Her daughter, a young mom herself, is still trying to balance school, work, and caring for her child. It's hard, especially when the help she expected isn't there. It's tough on both of them, and honestly, this family could use a reality check, and maybe a bit of honest help.
Once I do get that education,
What are you
that
giving
degree,
back by being in school?
I'm giving her.
What are your plans after school?
Well, I'm majoring also in psychology, so I
Okay.
planned on opening my own clinic, doing a clinical psychologist, and then from there I could, take care of my own daughter by then. I just right now need
And
some
move
assistance. Yeah, move out.
And your mom still takes care of the baby?
No, I could take care of the baby by then. I just need a little bit of help.
You
and
can take care of
assistance.
the baby by yourself now.
Thank you, Judge. I appreciate that.
So I'm still not hearing what your issue is.
My issue is just
Because she's your mom, you don't believe you need to pay her something.
that's what I thought.
Because if you think about it, you really don't live there. You just going to sleep. Mom is taking care of the baby. You'd agree with me, right? If you're coming in at midnight, the baby is with your mom all day. You're literally coming to the house, not seeing the baby, because if it's at midnight, the baby is asleep, I'm assuming.
Right.
And you're going right back out
I
to go
tuck
to
her
school
in.
and work.
I tuck her in.
She's already tucked in, so you just pull the covers over a little higher.
I give her a
That's what you
kiss
do?
goodnight.
She wakes her up, Judge, and just to play
You
with her
wake
for a
up
little
the
while.
baby at midnight.
Just so I can give her a kiss, read her little stories, so that way there is some sort of bonding between us, since I do work, all night long and go to school and all that.
Oh, well, that's nice. But what's going to be nicer is you're going to give your mother some of that money for taking care of your child, because she is footing the bill. She's taking care of everything. And if you think about it, technically you're not even living with her. You're only staying there at night for a couple of hours.
Right.
And the baby is with your mom. And I'm assuming this happens on the weekends too?
No, on the weekends she does stay home, and she does help. And like I said, she doesn't like that. She's not like that girl that goes clubbing and stuff. She does take that responsibility serious.
Yes.
It's just her job and school, and now she's going to work full time. Now she's going to be working more with the promotion.
Right, 'cause I got that promotion.
That kind of leaves us with a little extra money and no time, because we hardly had any time now. I can't even imagine what it's going to be like now that she's going full time.
Okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start your child support so you can at least give mom some sort of assistance. Now, at the time that you move out of the house and you have the child on your own 100%, mom is not babysitting. Mom is not even babysitting. The child is living with your mom.
Okay.
If the child is no longer living with your mom, your daughter is with you 100% of the time, then you can come back and see me to stop child support at that time.
Okay.
But until that happens, mom is going to receive some sort of financial break, essentially,
Right.
until that time happens. So it's going to be based off your income, and you just said that you make $50,000 a year now.
Mm-hmm.
So at $50,000 a year, that brings your gross to $4,167. Your net is $3,516.78. So what I'll do is order you to be responsible for that health insurance and give you a credit of $100 towards the health insurance, okay?
Okay.
So that'll make your monthly child support obligation $803 to your mother.
Sorry, baby. You got to learn.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't get why it's such a big deal that my mom, your grandmother, has to help out. If I hadn't gotten pregnant at 18, we wouldn't even be in this situation. But that wasn't my choice. You're my mom, right? You've always said you wanted a grandchild. Sure, I wanted a grandchild, but it would have been nice if you had gotten married first and had someone to share the responsibility with, not just me. I can't do this alone. I'm trying to help, but it's not easy. Well, I'm doing my best too. I'm paying for my tuition and trying to build a future. It's hard, balancing school and work, but I'm making it happen. I understand you're working hard, honey, but your main job is being a mom. That's the key point. You've got a child, and while I'm here to help, it's not my job to raise her. I raised you, not her. You don't think I should be compensated for taking care of your daughter? If she were in daycare, you'd be paying for that, right? They'd be doing everything, feeding, changing diapers, taking care of her. But your mom is doing all of that for free. I just don't feel like I owe her anything. I'm going to school to avoid student debt. I get it, sweetie, you don't want debt. But now that you're making more money with your promotion, it's time to step up. I know you don't have rent, and the house is paid for, but that doesn't mean I should keep covering everything. You're making more now. How about you pitch in a bit? I've done everything I can. I'm double majoring and working, too. But London needs more than just a roof over her head. I can't do it all by myself. So, you leave your child with me. But you don't think I should get help? You want me to just cover everything while you're out there getting your degree and avoiding responsibility? Sweetie, I know you're trying, but raising a child isn't something you can just pass off to someone else. I did my part. Now it's your turn. It's time for a reality check. This mom might think getting a degree means she gets a free pass from responsibility, but that's not how it works. Raising kids isn't something you can opt out of. Major props to the judge for handling this like a pro and giving her a wake-up call. Parenting isn't optional, and she's about to learn that the hard way. She's going to have to step up and pay her mom for playing full-time nanny.